all set for round 13 of the Moto2 World Championship from the World Circuit. Mazzano, Marco Simoncelli. Welcome to what is going to be an absolutely fantastic round of this championship, and it's about to all gear up for round 13 to get underway. The tensions are rising, the atmosphere is through the roof. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen with unpredictability, but Tony Marino is on pole position. Let's get ready to rumble in Mazzano. Tension rising on the grid. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to round 13 of the Moto2 World Championship. It's Tony Marino on pole position. Alongside him on the front row is Vietti and Ayagura. Then it's Aaron Canet starting in 4th position. Diego Monrella starts 5th. 6th on the grid for Albert Arenas. It's 7th for Joe Roberts, with Alonso Lopez taking in 8th position. 9th on the grid comes Manuel Gonzalez. 10th for Ferdinand de Geur, and then it's Philip Salak and Marcos Ramirez lines up 12th. Dennis Onchu is 13th, from Jake Dixon lining up 14th on the grid. Bo Ben Schneider lines up 15th alongside Seno Guris. Arul Sasaki and Dennis Foggia then takes up the next row of the grid. 19 down takes us with Zonta van der Gerberg, Barry Bolters, Jeremy Alcoba. Somkat Chandra down in 22nd. Then it's Matteo Passini ahead of Sergio Garcia. Dan Binder, Isaac Guevara and Juan Macia down the back, followed by Mario Aggi, Javier Cardenas, and Urani Aldere starts 30th, 31st for Javier Artegas as well. It's typical that even when we set up for 30, a surprise rider comes in for 31 and we don't even know about it. Hello everybody, welcome on to the comms box then. Here we go for Moto2 and the San Marino Grand Prix. Sergio Garcia leads Ayagura by 12 points in the championship. Ayagura starts 3rd. Sergio Garcia starts 24th. The continued run of bad luck is on. Let's check in with what Gavin Emmett and Michael Laverty think of the action.
The track position, make those overtakes, and it's going to be difficult for him with the injured shoulder. Yeah, he's going to struggle to maintain his points lead this weekend. I think Ayagura should be on the podium, as he said. He's got podium pace, maybe not race winning pace today. I think Ayagura comes out of here as the title leader today, got to be honest.
We've seen the tyre sheet that Pirelli have given us, all riders on the soft SC1 front and on the new development soft on the rear, except for Ramirez, who's got on the standard soft tyre. That's interesting, everyone's got the same underneath them. So what does that mean? How do you read this one? I sat here, I could not tell you who I think is going to come out on top.
Yeah, which we love about Moto2 this year. 9 different winners, is it, to this point in the season? It's really good. It has been a massive shake-up, and we've turned up here in Mazzano, a track that offers really good grip, so the softer options front and rear working and going distance, so not too much wheel spin, not too much degradation, everyone on the same option, so there's no gambles today. It is a case of managing your energy and waiting to the end of the race, as we see in Moto3, and then letting all guns go blazing in those last few laps.
Can't wait to see it. Yeah, 8 different winners this year in the first 12 races. 4 riders have won just once, 4 have won twice. Tony Arbolino yet to register one, and he's the one who starts from pole, fresh from a first podium back in Aragon.
Tension rising then, ready to get going. How is the weather? Well, track temperature and air temperature at the same at 31 degrees, 49% chance of rain. It's got a lot darker since Moto3 40 minutes ago, so we're in for a possible flag to flag in MotoGP later. The wind's picking up as well. Meanwhile, it's eyes to the lights for Moto2, and the San Marino Grand Prix has red lights on. Blast off! Good start from Ayagura in 3rd position. He's going to come alongside Justino Vietti down towards turn 1. Ayagura should have the lead. Alberino continues through. Vietti drops back. Here comes Albert Arenas right round the outside of both him and Aaron Canet. Fantastic move. Up into 2nd and now 3rd position. Ayagura holds it. Vietti back ahead. Aaron Canet coming through as they come down to the braking zone. Grassini's running in white today, so watch out for the 75 of Albert Arenas and the 18 of Manuel Gonzalez, not in blue, but in the Ducati white. Exit at turn 6, back up the straight we go towards turn 8. It is Tony Arbolino leading from Ayagura 2nd, Justino Vietti 3rd, with Aaron Canet looking up the inside line, coming in towards turn 8, a downhill braking spot, and it looks to be okay so far. It's a good start from everybody. Now, the weather conditions, to go more in depth with you, looking up in the air at the television monitors, the weather, there is a lot of grey cloud around, similar to Moto 3. However, there is the possibility of that rain coming down in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So it's going to come at some point today, but during a race. As we go side by side, further back, Diego Monrella with Fermin Aldeguer were side by side coming through Carvone, and how there wasn't a big accident there, I don't know. Everybody then, as you heard from Gavin on the formation lap, they were on the soft CSC1 tyre at the front as Alonso Lopez has dropped down to 23rd position. Now, what's that for? Haven't seen anything so far on my timing monitor. Oh, yeah, Lopez has crashed. There he is, right in front of me. Dropped the front over the curb and dips out into the gravel at the exit of turn 16 at Misano. So Alonso Lopez is out of the San Marino Grand Prix. Alan Canet dives up the inside of Stestino Vietti in turn 2 and 3 to take a third position away. Ayagura right on the back of Tony Arbolino. There's no stopping there for what they want to do, what they want to have the attack on later on in the race. You can see that for the first time, by the way, in between Moto 3 and Moto 2, we've managed to implement the race control messages that you can see for the first time on your screen in a while since they changed the system. There's the messages back up so we can see them. We had it at the start when we had the old graphics. Now we've got the better graphics, and we have finally the race control messages below us here on the screen. We've been waiting for that to come in, and now finally we've had the chance to do it, as well as the timings being correct. So Ayagura is out in the 21 apparently, so that's what he's been told. So Ayagura has been told that Lopez is out of the race, so that's going to help a lot coming through. Track conditions still cloudy, there's still 49% chance of rain in the area, so it's happening. So Ayagura now leads 8 points to Sergio Garcia. Garcia is still 23rd, so that gap in the championship only increasing slightly. Garcia now losing the advantage of the championship. And Ayagura taking full on and getting maximum points. So he takes the lead in the championship coming into this one. There's the 54, Fermin Aldeguer, who's going to be riding up in MotoGP next season. He's battling with Diego Monrella. Lap 3, Tony Arbolino does a 1:36.250, so he's got the fastest lap of the race. There's Jake Dixon in a battle with Aldeguer, Monrella, and he's got Joe Roberts behind him. That's the battle for 8, 9, 10 and 11 as well. There's Salak in there. Garcia's now also been told that Alonso Lopez is out of the race. That's one of their championship rivals as well, alongside Joe Roberts. Roberts, however, is still up in 10th position, so even he's gaining points on Sergio Garcia. There's Arbolino's fastest lap. The best race last year was a 1:36.173, so that's got to change up again. Down towards turn 8. The field just starting to spread out. Dixon moves ahead. Him and Joe Roberts having a battle. Guevara passes Alcoba. Passini passes Ben Schneider as well. So everyone now just starting to ease themselves in to this one. They know it's going to be a long one. They've all got soft tyres on due to the conditions, so they've just got to save the tyres as well.
Very briefly, but he's back behind the Brazilian.
You always know Tony Arbolino starts well, really pushes in the early laps. He always has speed and typically can eke out a little bit of a gap, which when we were in the Dunlop era really was difficult to claw back. But with Pirellis, it's a different scenario now. So the 4/10 advantage Arbolino's got at the moment. I think once I loses a little bit of the fuel load, the initial grip goes off the Pirelli tyres and I can slide it into the corners as he likes to do. Then the race begins to come to him and he will claw back the gap that Tony Arbolino's tried to eke out at the front.
So Arbolino leading from Agura in second, Canet there in third, Celestino Vietti a little bit further back. Vietti's another one who paces his races nicely. Canet is the fastest rider on circuit with a 1:36.0. Arbolino a 1:36.2, so they're going to come back to Arbolino here, not being dropped by the Italian. As they head down towards Rio Corner, still Arenas in 5th, Gonzalez in 6th. That is a new fastest race lap, quicker than Vietti went by a 10th a year ago. There's Manu Gonzalez, who actually in recent rounds has been a little bit off the ball. 5th in Aragon, 5th in Silverstone, but not had a podium since Italy. And here he comes past his teammate, Albert Arenas.
Nicely done. sideways on entry, using the rear brake to pull it down. Didn't go too far wide, but Gonzalez, one that you can't rule out because race pace wise he's always strong in the latter laps, but yeah, he has been in a little bit of a dip of form, looking to bounce back in Grassini's home livery with the Italian tricolore up the side of the machine in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, the bigger the bikes get, the harder it is to make overtaking manoeuvres here at Misano. We've seen that with MotoGP yesterday, unless you are that much quicker. There is Garcia in behind Chantru, who had his own crash problems this weekend. And as it stands, Garcia will be dropping back to second in the championship.
Yeah, the problem is, these are fast riders. You're all the way down in 22nd position, and you are trying, or 21st. You're trying to make the progression through the pack, and you're trying to pass riders like Somkhat Chandra, a GP winner, Jeremy Alcoba, a podium finisher, and then you just cannot make inroads. It's so difficult.
We missed the change of second place. Aaron Canet now is through on Ayagura and setting about Tony Arbolino out front. So Canet with a 1:36.1, the fastest of the front trio. I do feel like, as we've said so many times this year, even with that development soft in the rear of the bike, you just have to dose it out.
It does seem like the Kalex has turned a corner recently in terms of its tyre consumption. They have grip at the end of the races. They're able to manage it better, and they have better pace than they had in the early rounds. Bosco did steal a march in the early part of the season, but right now it's a tough one to say which is the better overall package. Right now it is Olin's suspension. Kalex is 1 and 2, but Ayagura's right there, and he always doses it out quite well in terms of managing his tyres to the end of the race. And yeah, he didn't sound overly confident that he could pull the victory out today.
7 rounds remaining after this one, and I suppose the 2 riders in front of him here are not championship threats. Arbolino definitely is, and Canet 71 behind with 7 rounds remaining. Well, 8 including this one, the points still to be doled out. So I suppose he's not completely out of it, but I don't think he'd be thinking of Canet as a consistent enough threat. So actually, Agura in this position, it's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, it's okay. Obviously, Arbolino, you don't consider him a title threat because of his lackluster start, but you can't rule out Aaron Canet because of his potential, but I think he's a little bit too inconsistent and too far back at this stage in the season. So yeah, it's okay for Ayagura. He will know that Sergio Garcia is going to struggle to score today. He knows that Jake Dixon, he may get those signals on his pit board or on his dashboard as the race progresses, but down there in 9th, although setting lap times almost identical to Arbolino, a 10th of a second adrift, so Jake getting into his stride, and you would imagine he will get the best of Moreira, Arenas, maybe even Gonzalez. So I think a top 5 is still on the horizon here for Jake today.
Yeah, pace, personal best lap, in fact, for Dixon. As you say, pace better than everyone in front of him.
Agura's going on the inside to get ahead of Aaron Canet to cut across. So this is going to be an interesting battle, because there goes Aaron Canet making a small error coming out of turn 8. And Ayagura says, thank you very much. I'll swing back through and take that position. But Canet's fighting up on the inside line, and they swap back as before they come out of turn 9 as well. So Lopez has rejoined the race. Canet's not holding back, actually. He's keeping the gap open to Ayagura, but Agura slips in behind as they come through Carbone. So, yeah, they've just got to take it with ease, this one. It's a nice folding race so far. Nothing bad is happening. It's all going really well, actually. 9 times out of 10, we've said that before in a Moto2 race, and all hell breaks loose directly afterwards. So far, the weather conditions are mixed. We've seen some more rain clouds coming in over the circuit. Let's take a look at the weather radar, shall we, as well? Because we've also got Simon Patterson trackside. 230, 240, 250 as well coming through. That's in the braking zone from Aaron Canet on the tyres. Now, at the moment, well, the rain's now saying to come later on this evening, but that can't be right, because there's weather coming in. There's lightning and unpredictable rainstorms coming in, so we'll keep an eye on exactly what happens there. Simon said 2 minutes. Weather radar for 1:15. MotoGP starts at 2 o'clock local time, and that is massive rain. So there is a storm coming in. Simon said 2 minutes ago it's very overcast and there's rain in the air according to the radar. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of the 2023 Moto2 race in Portimao. That was a red flag, if I remember correctly. So it's overcast in the area, and that rain's coming in. Let's take a look. There's the 54 of Fermin Aldeguer with Albert Arenas directly ahead of him. How many pulled him out 23? Oh, yeah, everyone went down. I remember that now. Yeah, sorry. That was a bit of a brain lag there. We had to stop the race because everyone turned in at turns 1, 2 and 3, and they all fell off the track, and we had to throw the red flag and restart the race. So we definitely don't want another one of those coming through. Albert Arenas up in 6th position at the moment, and, yeah. So basically everyone's fingers crossed in this race. 16 laps to go, coming up on 15 laps to go. It will be lap 8 of 22, and everyone's now just going like that the rain stays away and we don't have a horrific accident. But there's rain in the area, that's for sure. Don't trust Apple, just trust the radar. That shows a massive storm right here on the circuit, which is going to play a huge factor into it. Right, side by side. As well as we come in, this is Arenas, Fermin Aldeguer and Diego Monrella over 6, 7 and 8 at the moment, and Monrella nearly took Aldeguer out of the race. He went to the inside line in turn 1. Aldeguer didn't know he was there. Now, actually, to interrupt myself, Aldeguer sends up the inside at turn 5 and 6 on Albert Arenas. And he moves up into 6th position. Arenas now under pressure from Diego Monrella. Jake Dixon, who won last time out at Assen, is now closing back in again. Under braking, this is Joe Roberts also looking quite good in 10th position. He's closing up on this little battle as well after a little mistake a lap ago. So he's gaining back. Alberino's gaining at the front. Amcat's losing time. Gura staying in 3rd. And temperature now is at 31 degrees Celsius. A few leaders changing over positions. You can see on your monitors as the racing continues on here. It is 15 laps to go in the Moto2 San Marino Grand Prix, and everybody is nervous about the rain coming in. No sign of it so far. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on every social media we possibly can do as well. It's going to be that type of afternoon to keep your eyes peeled. Marino by 4/10 as he lost a lot of time in that last sector. In fact, looking at the timing screen, Aaron Canet takes the fastest lap of the race. He's done a 1:36.025 and is now the fastest. Here's the race start though. We'll hand back to Michael Laverty.
So the wave could go Fermin's way yet. He could just find something in terms of his setup, be able to utilise his strengths and skills. Everyone did get through reasonably clean. This is Aldeguer and Joe Roberts at turn 1, a bit of contact.
So they're in turn 2. It's in turn 3 now. Just have a look at Roberts. He gets really held up on the outside there. It was Lopez, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's Alonso Lopez and then Aldeguer coming through. What a surprise. Of course, Alonso Lopez is now out of this race.
Yes, there'll be no in-race penalty for Alonso Lopez. He's already dished out his own penalty at the end of lap 1. But
he has rejoined.
Oh, has he?
Back in he's in 31st, and he's 2 laps down.
Yeah, no points on the horizon today, but just maybe some setup data ahead of the race in 2 weeks' time.
Just tightened up a little bit at the front with Aaron Canet setting a new fastest lap of the race. Tony Arbolino has been metronomic at the front. I've been looking at his lap times. 1:36.3 again and again and again. He's hit his straps and he is sticking to whatever he's got in mind at the start of this race. The 1:36.3 is his ballpark.
This is the Tony Arbolino we've been waiting for all season. Didn't turn up in Qatar, didn't turn up when we come back to Europe. It's just been a bit of a tough breakthrough for him to figure out how to work these Pirelli tyres, but he's found something, and it's good to see him back on form again and battling at the front. That's what we want to see from Tony. He's a fiery character and makes some great race action, typically in Moto2.
And you know the Mark VDS team are always going to get there. Here comes Aaron Canet, though, on the inside. He left it late. The foot was off the foot peg. I don't know how he does it, but he does every single time. And now we've got a new leader in the Grand Prix of San Marino, and it's Aaron Canet from Arbolino. Agura in 3rd. Still Vietti having a watching brief back in 4th spot. Moreira's got through Arenas behind, so he's up to 7th. I still think you look down to, you know, the likes of Aldeguer. All of them will harbour a hope of the podium when we start getting into the...
Foggia with a track limits warning. SHT said, I still remember when Dan Binder is competing in the MotoGP Premier Class years ago. Yeah, binned it in every single opportunity he had in that category as well. So, yeah. Not the greatest. Oh, the Sterrington Cup happened, and I didn't even see it happen on my screen. That's interesting. At least that means that the 20 past race might actually happen on time. as well for when we cover that one. Looks like by the way, I've just been, if you're wondering where I was the last couple of laps, I've been looking on socials and from reading Simon Patter's Twitter, as Ayagura is going to take the inside. Alberino going wide, and through goes Ayagura. So Alberino losing the lead in 2 laps running, now down to 3rd. And Ayagura leads the championship by 8 points to Sergio Garcia now. Aaron Canet leads this race then in San Marino. The reason I've stepped away from the microphone for a second is because I've been looking, Simon Patterson saying on his socials that the rain is going to hit the circuit towards the tail end of Moto 2. So in the next 12 laps, that rain is coming. And maybe I should turn Simon's tweets on auto update so I can actually hear. Because this is not looking great. So, yeah, Simon, I've just turned your posts on. Coming into it as well. Yeah, that overcast is getting absolutely worse out here on the track. MotoGP does not look good. It's probably going to be a flag-to-flag. Heavy rainstorm. Might have red flags this afternoon for MotoGP, so that's going to be interesting. I hope not, because we want to cover some Goodwood Revival today ourselves. This is Aaron Canet and there's Alberino nearly dropping that front again down at turn 15, and that's what gave the position through to Ayagura. Canet leads by 0.6 of a second. They're all racing now for the flag to come out. Now, there's no flag to flag in Moto 2. If the rain comes down, they're all on slick tyres, they will red flag the race. So that's no ifs, no buts. If that rain starts to come down, we will see a red flag and the race will be stopped immediately, as soon as the sprinkles. They can't risk it. So we're getting past half distance, but we need to get past 2/3 before the race can be, that will be a restart required still, because we need to complete 2/3 race distance. Just getting a look at the red flag lap here for this one, as they will again turn in. Pit boards all being hung out there as well. There is Fermin Aldeguer now ahead of Monrello and Dixon. Philip Salah gets ahead of Marcos Ramirez. Why is there a red flag? Because in Moto 3 and Moto 2, they only have one bike. It's not like in MotoGP where there'll be a flag to flag where they can come in and change bikes for wet tyres. In Moto 2, they can't do that. So they're all out there on slicks at the moment. So if the rain starts to come down, they would red flag the race. They would come into the pit lane, they'd change tyres and then to wets, and then the race will be restarted. But if for more than 2/3 race distance, ergo 75% of the race distance has been completed, we won't have that restart procedure. So that's what I'm just trying to look at on the red flag information from race control. Here we go. So the finish in case of a red flag for Moto 2 is lap 17. So we're on lap 12 now, so anything past lap 17 would be declared a result officially. So that will be 2/3 race distance. We're past it now at 50% distance as well. So we are on lap 12 of 22. We've passed half distance. And this is now a battle with Dennis Onchu. Battle for 16th, and Sergio Garcia through on the inside line. Garcia was leading the championship, now down outside the points paying position. Ayagura's leading the moment by 8 points, but not battling with Aaron Canet. And, well, Roberts is down 11th to the track limit this morning. Alonso Lopez out of the race. Does anyone actually want to win Moto 2 this year? That is getting very overcast at the back half of the circuit as well now, I'm telling you. The last corner, you can see the rain coming in. You know how in the distance you can always see the rain coming down with the light shining through it? You can see like rays hitting the track. That's what's happening. You can see the rain starting to come in. It's getting very, very dark here at Misano for the San Marino Grand Prix. The wind is at 6 kilometers an hour. Air and track still the same. Lopez with the track limits warning. Ayagura and Antonio Marino with the fastest second sector. So does Manuel Gonzalez. So, yeah. So basically, we just need to get to lap 17, anything past that, and we can declare the race a result if it starts really hammering it down. So that's going to be an interesting little factor to keep an eye on. 10 to go, if we make it that far. Definitely, it looks like, by the way, that the rain is scheduled to come down at 1:15. That currently over there in Misano, it is 12:38. So by 1:15, it's going to be in a massive rainstorm. So definitely the MotoGP Grand Prix is going to be interesting to see what happens later. We'll be moving over to JBMotorsports for that one. And they're in, yeah, even the riders are now, I just saw, we're riding on board with the 79 of Ayagura, and Aaron Canet, who went into the last corner, was looking up at the sky, and he's doing it again now into turn 1 on the straight. He was looking up to see what the weather is doing, because these guys are going to be the first ones to meet these conditions. Certainly Aaron Canet is leading it, Ayagura's, 2-3 tenths behind? So they've got to take care. I'm really excited for the 3 rookies who promoted to MotoGP class next season. What will the weather be for MotoGP Grand Prix later? Well, in the words of Ollie from Family Guy, it's going to rain. And it's raining sideways. It's not looking good. We're all just sort of looking around and expecting it, because here in Misano, it could just come down at any second. Ayagura closing in to Aaron Canet. It's dry right now, though, with the track temperature and air temperature level at 31 degrees. That's going to help, though, if it does rain, because the track should be able to burn it away quite quickly. But it depends on the level. We've got the weather radar we're seeing up in the commentary box is heavy rain falling in, and who was that? Somebody, Fermin Ardeguer's got a track limits warning, but somebody dropped down 2 places there. Didn't see who it was on the monitor. Van der Gerberg has been given a long lap penalty due to exceeding track limits. So that was just now. So Zonta van der Gerberg has been given that for a long lap penalty. For his track limits. And I believe he's taken that now. I think that's what I'm seeing on this monitor. Wait a minute, I'm going to turn the brightness up so I can actually read it a little bit more. It's getting darker in this box as well. Yeah, so 3:10 Ayagura coming in. So, yeah, 136.063. So they're all now just playing those factors in. It's very nerve-wracking, actually, this. I've never experienced a more nervous energy out here before in the paddock. It is like, what on earth will happen next? Yeah, exceeding long lap penalty with track limits. I'm going to check the weather radar again. Let's head back over to the team.
From Sergio Garcia to get across, and you can see he got the gap on his pit board over a second, and now he's got it down to, he's on the back wheel of Joe Roberts. So this is a bit of a disaster for Joe down in 15th with the track limits warning looming over him. Yeah, he's obviously been transgressing a few occasions, as has Fermin Aldeguer. That's one hanging over his head. So that's something to keep an eye on as this race progresses. On the limiter for Sergio Garcia, chasing down Joe Roberts, down into La Quercia, turn 8. Vietti is the fastest rider on that last lap. He's closing on Tony Arbolino rather quickly. But I think also, Michael, Vietti's closing on Canet and Agura at the front. Yeah, I do think Vietti's got something here, maybe a trump card up his sleeve. He's managed it well. It looked like he wasn't panicking in those early laps when there was a bit of daylight between him and the lead group. And yeah, he's very good at managing race distance, Celestino Vietti. So we weren't sure if Sergio Garcia was going to be taking any points out of the San Marino Grand Prix. He's right on the cusp of it now. So Ayagura with 20. It's all going to be in the maths department later, trying to work out who's taking points out of whom. But I have to say, this is a great ride from Garcia. From a tough start to the weekend, he's pulled himself together, and now challenging Joe Roberts for 15th. At the front, still Aaron Canet and Ayagura. You can see that. And here he goes. Garcia into the points. Briefly, because Joe Roberts is back at him. Yeah. Typically what we expect on the pass into turn 2, you're going to go wide and set yourself up for a cutback, but obviously a little bit of a dress rehearsal. Next time around, you just park it a little more. When you do that, you risk contact if the rider to your outside hasn't seen you, so he's done it one time now cleanly. Next time around, he won't give him just as much room. Down towards La Quercia. There's Ariuma Sasaki. I tell you what, Sasaki's had a good couple of rounds, hasn't he? Yeah. In the points. Good to see, obviously, a turnaround in Aragon this weekend through to Q2 in the mix, 12th, 10th. That's really positive signs for Ayuma Sasaki. It looked like he was maybe on his way back to Moto3, but all signs are good for a return, a second year in Moto2 next season, possibly a move to Honda Team Asia. And it'll be good to see Ayumu back in Moto 2 in 2025.
Weather forecast update for you as well. It's getting worse as Passini's entered the pit lane as well. He did have a track limits warning, but he's decided against it. Aaron Canet now closing into Ayagura as well. The atmosphere is building here at Misano with 6 laps to go. Zonta van der Gerberg has completed his long lap penalty. We've got a strange hue now over the circuit as well. As they come under the braking zone, once again, is Ayagura going to find anything to try and close back up? That's something in the back of my ear that I didn't expect to hear. It's the course card in the back at the circuit where the microphone was. There's Sergio Garcia right behind Joe Roberts. The gap is 0.3 of a second. 0.043 actually. So, oh, hello, what happened there? Oh, they're side by side. Okay, we've opened up the TV pictures, and Garcia should be getting ahead of Joe Roberts any second now. Roberts and him are side by side. Garcia has the inside line, and he's into the points down at turn 4 and 5. Sergio Garcia into the points. The gap now 9. So 7 actually. The gap that Agura has over him, and he'll look to try and close that back up in the next few moments. Aaron Canet going a little bit wide. Ayagura will definitely try and get the slipstream on him. It's like he's reeling him in as well. It's quite addictive to see as they come into Carvone. Canet under braking. Ayagura closing him down second by second. What a fascinating technological mind battle this is becoming. Everyone just trying to hold station and realise, yeah, we could be in for something a bit different and a bit special here. You can see how long the timing screen's got now with the penalties galore. Orade has got the track limits warning. Of course, if you didn't see it yesterday, a marshal stepped off the pit wall in front of Yuri and knocked him off the bike, and his bike went flying into the Aprilia garage, hit Aleix Espargaro's bike, and the bike actually ended up where the engineers and Aleix sit in between the sessions. Luckily, nobody was seriously hurt. No one was sitting there. Aleix's bike was a little bit damaged as Garcia gets up the inside of Marcos Ramirez for 14th place now as well. And 13th place as well. He's ahead of Maul Sasaki. So Garcia's up to 13th now. But yeah, so luckily no one was hurt. Canet side by side with Ayagura down towards turn 8. I can't tell if there's sunshine or rain cloud coming in. You know, like you get that sun just before the rain starting to come in. It's a really weird situation that's happening out there. I'm now talking directly to the Combox camera. I never normally do this, so it's a bit weird. I only usually do it at the end of the session. During a race, my eyes are usually fixated on the screen, so I'm going to look back down now to stop everybody freaking out. Here comes Agura, locking him in, down into turn 8 again, into Carvone at turn 11. Last of the late breakers. Agura was fastest, by the way, by 2/10 in that last sector. He's really closed in. And he's through on the inside line of 14, but he's gone too wide. Tried to get it stopped. It didn't work out. Canet keeps the lead after 14. Into 15 and 16 in the last 2 corners. Agura's going to have to be smarter than that because he almost lost out to Tony Alberino in 3rd. Be smarter. Otherwise, there's just no point. They work together. 4 laps to go here in Misano for the Moto 2 San Marino Grand Prix. Really is an entertaining little battle. We're all just looking at that rain. If the rain doesn't come in Moto 2, it should arrive by the time we get to MotoGP. So just keep your eyes on it, because that is going to be some of the hardest rain we're going to have. Whether they'll delay the start or not, I don't know. Possibility they would delay the start. I don't mind if they do. We've got enough time. I know the 3 races I want to cover today, and that is the Glover Trophy, the St Mary's Trophy Part 2, and the final race of the day, the Freddie March Memorial Trophy. They're the 3 races I want to cover from the Goodwood today. Down into turn 11, and here we go again. Ayagura up the inside. Aaron Canet cannot do anything about it. Ayagura takes the lead of the Moto 2 Grand Prix of San Marino. And Alberino and Justino Vietti has now come into this little battle as well. So Vietti closing all up. Oh, this is good, isn't it? This is the good stuff. This is where you lick your lips because Canette's fighting back at him as well. Agura's going defensive and the rain clouds are coming in. We're past lap 17, remember, so if the rain does come, the race will be stopped and it won't be restarted. Alonso Lopez, hang on a minute, what? Alonso Lopez has rejoined the race, that's why. I was just saying, what? But Alonso Lopez has been given a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. Little bit of, yeah, it's a shine now that's starting to appear on the circuit. You can see where the grip is. It's not raining at all, but the tensions are rising. 48% now, the humidity. That's dropping quite rapidly as well. You can see the rain clouds growing in the distance. It's like we're watching a storm roll in a movie. It's quite scary to see it. The riders here, it could just rain at any second. SHT says, if it's a wet race, battle for the race wins, it's probably going to be wide open. It will be in MotoGP. I don't think it's going to affect the Moto2, thankfully. It looks like we're going to have a dry race, but MotoGP, certainly that rain is coming in. I'm looking over the mountains where it's rolling in from, and it looks absolutely horrific. That's just 2 miles away from this circuit. It's going to blow in any moment. Ayagura's 3 tenths ahead, now 5 tenths, and Aaron Canette's dropping back actually to Tony Arbolino. Now remember, if it does start raining, it's only the race leader that can put their hand up to say, okay, stop the race. So they have to, it has to be the race leader, and as soon as he does that, they can stop it, because he's the first who can do it. Hello, I'm looking in the grandstands, and people are starting to put their coats on and put their hoods up. It's not raining yet. We've seen no white flags with red X's to indicate it's raining in that part of the track, so we are keeping it through. We want to see a wet race in MotoGP, says Imesh. We want to see that too. Reminder, that will be on JBMotorsports for that one, not here. Oh, hello, big one there! And who's gone down? It's one of the Red Bulls. And it is Cestino Vietti in the last corner. Vietti's gone down. So we couldn't see who it was from the angle. So Cestino Vietti from 4th place has crashed out. And the timing screens have stopped. The timing screens have stopped. There's a problem with the timing screens. So they've gone down on all monitors. Oh, blimey. So Vietti's out. 2 to go. There they go. They're restarting now. They might take a second to load up, but they are working again. Well, I can see they're working, but we're still saying 3 laps to go. So something's tripped in Dorna's race control system as well. Yes, just a reminder, we'll be on JB Motorsports 1 for the main race. The link is in the description to that channel. So you can go and follow us for that race there as well. So there's Vietti out of the race. You can see that the timing tower's working, but there we go, 2 to go, there we go. Rider okay for Vietti, as you can tell on the monitor. Now, I wonder what caused that. Looked like he probably just lost the front end, turns in, the front dips away from him as well. Sadly, the way it goes sometimes. But they were setting red sector times, the top 5. Jake Dixon's up to 5th. He was 15th at one point in this race. Jake Dixon really is having the time of his life. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a dry Moto2, which is thankful. It's just the MotoGP boys that I'm worried about going out, but they'll have the bikes set up for both wet and dry. The last thing we wanted here was to have that worry of Moto2 coming down and us having to stop the race because they're on slicks. They can't come in to change bikes. Would make MotoGP more fun if it started dry, then got wet, and they had to come in for a flag to flag. That would be fun, because then we could see still the possibility of red flags as well. Last lap time for Igo is 1:36.436. 0.03 of a second slower was Aaron Canette. Tony Arbolino was 2.3 down on that lap time, and he has dropped 2.5 seconds behind the leaders further back. So they are one after the other, closing in again and again and again. It is the strangest situation possible, the wildest situation possible, but Ayagura is going to do the magic miracle here as he comes out into the last few corners. We're down towards Carvone. Only got a few more. I think Aaron Canette's going to stay back. In a championship where nobody, and I literally mean nobody, wanted to take the lead, Ayagura is fighting back so hard. The man who lost the Moto2 Championship with an accident at Valencia Can he now set off on a charge to win it himself? He's reined in his teammate Sergio Garcia, who ever since the summer break has had a horrific season. Roberts has fallen down the wayside in 13th. Lopez has literally fallen. Arise! Ayagura, winner in San Marino and the leader of the Moto2 World Championship once again. Aaron Canet finishes an amazing second. Tony Arbolino in third. Manuel Gonzalez is fourth. Jake Dixon takes fifth. Furman Aldeguer is sixth. Philip Salak is seventh. Diego Monrella is eighth. Albert Arenas ninth. That's Darren Binder up in 10th place. Fantastic race. Senna Igas is 11th. Sergio Garcia 12th. Joe Roberts 13th. 14th for Songkat Chancha. 15th for Marcos Ramirez and the last points paying position. Amul Sasaki is 16th. Jeremy Alcoba 17th. Barry Bolters 18th. Dennis Onchun 19th. Bobet Schneider 20th. Izan Guevara 21st. Dennis Foggia 22nd. Zonta van der Gerberg's 23rd. Juan Macia 24th. Mario Argi 25th. Javier Ortega's 26th. Javier Cardenas is 27th. 28th on the list. That goes down for Urub Arab as well. Then Alonso Lopez 29th. And only the retirement actually in that one was Justina Vietti. Everyone else got back up, which was a surprise to me. In their half that we were going to have that. Now, they've just gone for an ad break over on TNT Sports. What I am doing is trying rather quickly to get hold of the link for the main race and pop it in the YouTube chat for you as well, so you can all come along and watch the action for this one. However, my data is not great in this commentary box. So I am a little bit behind. Everyone loving it from Indonesia. There you are. So I managed to get that sorted. So there is the link. I've pinned it in the YouTube chat. That link in the chat will take you to where we will cover MotoGP and the San Marino Grand Prix. That's going to be on JB Motorsports. If you're watching on JB Motorsports Twitch, just stay where you are. That's going to come up for you later on as well. But from everyone on JB Motorsports 2, make your way over and we'll be on air 10 minutes before the race starts for the San Marino Grand Prix and bring you all the updates as well for what will be a weather-stricken event as well. But in Moto2, it has been yet another fantastic race, and it's Ayagura who takes the lead in the championship by a total of 6 points. The fight is back on, finally, after a couple of months in limbo. We'll see it in 2 weeks' time when we're back here at Mazzano for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.